Hey everyone, Sergio with the Rideshare Guy. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Wheel. Today I'm joined by Tony, my buddy, good old buddy. We're going to do many shameless plugs today, so stay tuned for that. From Hollywood, California, who just actually got into a new car. Well, we'll talk all about this, but Tony, welcome.
Thank you, Sergio. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, always. I mean, me and Tony go back quite a while, actually. Tony, you have to explain right off the bat, actually, to us what you did before and before you got into rideshare, right? And what you're currently doing. You have other gigs that you are keeping you busy. You're not just a rideshare driver.
I wish I was just a rideshare driver. I love driving so much. Today I drove from 10 a.m. until a full 8-hour shift, and I had a great time. I would have done it more if I didn't have this. Before this, I was a journalist, first with LAist, and then the LA Times, and then with NPR in Pasadena. I also did social media for the Academy Awards for 5 years. That was really fun, and that's actually what got me involved in rideshare. It was kind of like, it was fine, but it was kind of a boring office job compared to what I was used to in journalism. And so at night I started driving Uber, and so today I have a podcast, which is how you and I met, called Here in LA, HEAR, Here in LA, and then on the side, I write my favorite Uber stories in a Substack called busblog.substack.com. And I think those are all the side hustles a man is legally allowed to have.
You're a man of many hats. So what happened is that actually Harry Campbell, the founder of the Rideshare Guy, introduced us, and Tony had done an amazing interview with me. It was exactly 2 years ago, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and so you all please go check it out. Check the old one out, but then there's a new one coming out. But that we
New
did
one's going
about
to come out tomorrow.
Oh, well,
It
good,
was going to
perfect
be
timing.
today, but then this lady wanted to clean my house, so that threw things into
Yeah.
disarray. So it'll be up.
Yeah, absolutely. So here in LA,
Yeah.
amazing podcast that he has, but more importantly, we'll end the shameless plugs here, but what he mentioned, I receive his Substack articles. The way he puts them together. He's an amazing writer, author,
Oh,
obviously,
thank you.
and he has a way with words, and he puts down his memorable, at least the memorable trips on pen and paper. Well, not on pen and paper, but and he has an amazing following,
Thank you.
and please go check it out. So we said the memorable
I mean,
rideshare trips, right?
we
So
all
let's
have
talk a little
them.
bit
I mean,
about the memorable rideshare trip that you had. When was it? Last week?
oh yes, it was. I think it was Friday night. Friday night, I was driving late at night, and I did like a 1 a.m. ride from Hollywood to Newport Beach, and on my way back up to Hollywood, because Sergio's laughing because he knows I like the long rides, and that was the long ride that got me down there. And so now I'm stuck in Newport Beach at 1 o'clock in the morning. I really don't want to be around a lot of drunks, but what am I going to do? And so I made my way up to around Irvine, Anaheim area, and I get a ping, which is a decent ping. It's not exactly where I want to be, but at least it's going north, uh, closer to Hollywood. And it was a really beautiful woman with kind of these crop tops where you could see her whole belly, and she's got these sweatpants shorts on, and then this guy with kind of bloodshot eyes, and they're messing with the trunk of their car. It's at a gas station I'm picking them up at, and then there's this Doberman Pinscher puppy, and the guy's got two super big gulps in his hand. And the more that they're making me wait, the more I'm thinking, I don't want this ride because I've got this brand new Tesla, and my good man Sergio told me that I need to know my worth, and I shouldn't be taking just any old ride, and I really should be paying attention to my car because passengers don't. And so I could just see my future flash in front of me, which is this hyper puppy is running around in the back seat. This guy's trying to hold on to his super big gulps, the leash, and all I could see is tragedy.
I mean,
And
look, for people who are not from LA, let's just tell them or make them understand, you're talking Irvine, right? Irvine is in Orange County. It's not even in LA County. Okay,
no,
people. So bear with me for a minute here. Irvine is south of Disneyland, quite a bit actually. But the point I'm trying to make is from where he was supposed to pick these people up and dog. We'll talk about that in a minute. And the two people and the two big gulps, okay, at 1 a.m. To Hollywood. What would you say? About 60 miles, probably?
no, it wasn't even to Hollywood. If it was to
Oh,
Hollywood, it would have been a different story. It was probably 30 minutes away from Hollywood. So
okay.
I would love to have gone home,
No, but
but
still 50, 60 miles trip.
it's yeah, it's kind of the right direction home, but not perfectly.
Yeah. But so, I mean, so 60 miles minimum an hour, even with no traffic at that time, right?
Yeah.
And who knows what can happen with that dog in the car. So you guys can all, figure out where this is going. So what do? You go cancel and tailpipes, although you don't have tailpipes anymore. So
That's true. Electric cars. Uh, I just told the guy. I mean, because as you can see, I'm a talkative person, and I want to be transparent with people. So I go, I'm sorry, man. I just can't take that dog. Because the whole time I was looking at the dog. I mean, I was kind of looking at the girl a little bit too, but mostly I was looking at the dog, and I'm like, is this going to be a good or bad dog? But I'm also looking at the entirety of the whole thing. Like, who is this guy? Why is his eyes bloodshot? Why is this gorgeous woman with him? And what's going on with the trunk of that car? Like, all the red flags are just one after another. If it was just one red flag, Sergio,
yeah,
I
yeah.
I'm attracted to red flags, but a whole spectrum of them is where I draw the line. And
Yeah.
so I told him I can't take the dog, and he's like, but it's a service animal, and I'm like, sure it is. And he's like, there's paperwork. And so as I'm driving away, there's paperwork, and I'm like, I don't want to see your paperwork, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
sure, there's paperwork.
I
What
can't
platform was this on, by the way? Uber or Lyft?
lift.
Lyft. Okay. So you do both, right? Uber and Lyft?
Of course,
All right.
I've
So
learned from the
before
best.
we jump into what took place after that, which is, a lot of drivers do complain about this, which is a very important subject we'll discuss. But um, tell us a little bit about your new ride. I know your history, but our audience would want to hear it from you.
Well, when I was working at the Oscars, I bought a Mercedes so that I could qualify for Uber Select, because the rates just kept going down, down, down. That I was like, well, how do I make money at this thing? And because the Oscars is based in Beverly Hills, our headquarters is in Beverly Hills, I figured, well, at least one of my rides at night will be Uber Select, that gets me out of Beverly Hills. So I bought that car, which turned out to be a mistake because even rich people don't like Uber Select. They like saving their money. And so they don't mind being in a regular Uber X car. So I've had this Mercedes for a while. It does not get good gas mileage. My gamble of doing Select and then whatever Lyft called their thing turned out to be a bad gamble, because now I'm doing Uber X in a luxury car with bad gas mileage. And but thanks to you, Sergio, I learned how to maximize my time and do better than what I was doing. And so after a while, your Mercedes is gonna start crapping out on you, and you've got to pay all these bills.
Yeah.
And so my mechanic, my Mercedes mechanic, was like, "Do you really want to send my kids through college, just because you want to be an Uber driver?" And I was like, "Are you really telling me not to keep bringing this in?" He's like, "You really should buy a Tesla."
Yeah.
And so thanks to Joe Biden and Uber and Lyft. I mean, everybody's like pushing us into the electric way. And so there's a federal rebate for both used and new electric cars. Both Tesla and Lyft have specials going on. So everything was pushing me in that direction. But also Elon Musk, I think somebody whispered in his ear and reminded him how rich he is, and he should lower his interest rates down to 1%, because his business is to sell cars, not to make money off of the interest of all that stuff. So that's really what got me interested into a Tesla. Even though I live in an apartment, I don't have a place to charge it. It was too good of a deal to pass up. So I bought a 2023 Tesla Y with 9,000 miles on it. Sadly, it was too high in price to qualify for the used car rebate, and I think Tesla knew that, so they knocked $20,000 off of this car. This is a $60,000 car if you buy it new, and so I was able to get it for $40,000, and so I didn't qualify for those rebates. There's other rebates that I can qualify for in January from my electric company here in LA.
Yeah.
And so that'll be nice.
Yeah.
But boy, man, is this car cool. I mean, it's fast, it's nimble. It qualifies for Lyft Black because Sergio also recommended that I get a black exterior and a black interior, which I would not have done before. But Sergio, you knew that's what Lyft was looking for. And today I did 2 Lyft Black rides.
There you
So,
go.
and are
So obviously going from a ICE vehicle to electric vehicle is not an easy transition, but you'll learn the ropes. They have so much technology in them as far as
yeah,
charging, and you never run out of juice.
right.
And I mean, look, you're a talkative driver. I know how you are in the car, but give me a little history about your Uber and Lyft driving numbers over you said 5 years. I mean, approximate. You don't have to turn
No,
your
10
app on
years.
right now, but how
10
many
years.
trips on Uber? How many trips on Lyft? And which outfit do you prefer?
I think I've done. I tried to look it up. Neither of these companies make it easy for
Well, of
us to
course.
know, which is so silly. I mean, they know the numbers. Like, why not share it with us and make it easy? Lyft swears that I've only done 1,000 trips with them.
Probably
Um,
more.
it's got to be more.
Yeah.
It's probably closer to 2,000, and it's about 8,000 with Uber.
Yeah.
So
So you prefer Uber, which is normal.
no, I do not. But the thing is I didn't learn about Show Me the Money Club until later in my career, because honestly, I was not doing 2 apps. I was
Yeah.
only doing Uber for the longest time.
Yeah.
And and honest to God, you're the one that convinced me not only to sign up for Lyft, but to have both of them running all the time. I wasn't
Well,
even once
this
I was
is
signed up, I wasn't using them both at the same
yeah,
time.
this is a good segue to the continuation of that trip with the Doberman, or well, without the Doberman, the right decision, Tony,
Yeah,
uh, because these companies, right? They call it what they call it, deactivation, right?
yeah.
I call it firing, right? And so tell me what happened. You said cancel, bye.
I
See you
said
later.
cancel, and I knew that there was an EV charger a mile away, and before I could get to that EV charger, Lyft had deactivated me, sent me a couple emails. My screen changed. I couldn't even log into either the passenger app or the driver app on Lyft. I was instantly deactivated because of ADA rules state that you have to take people with service animals, and Lyft has a policy that says they don't they're, they don't even have to prove that it's a service animal. They just have to say it is.
Yep, the shoot questions. I mean, shoot first, ask questions later. Both companies do that. I mean, under ADA guidelines. I have spoken to the companies, by the way. They go, listen, it's not our thing. It's a federal rule, federal law
Mm-hmm.
that even if you're deadly allergic or whatever you are, even if you have a doctor's note from, that you're allergic, you could have a shock and you could hit the wall and kill everybody in the car, you have to take the dog.
You got to
And I'm
take it.
going like, this is the biggest bullshit I've ever seen in my life, right?
Yeah.
So as a driver, I mean, you have no choice, you know. Now, not everybody's going to complain immediately at 1 a.m. with two gulps, big gulps in his hand. Well, this dude did obviously, and Lyft algorithms, HR, whatever they are. They go, yep, Tony, bye, see you later. So tell me what happened.
Adios. Because I'm charging, I have 20 minutes on my hands. So the email says you are temporarily deactivated uh, while we investigate this. What would you like to say? And in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have said anything. In retrospect, I shouldn't have told the passenger I can't do this because of the dog. Um, I probably should have said I just can't do this ride and just
Yeah,
left it at
yeah.
because then he wouldn't have been able to say it was because of the dog.
Yeah, you should have said like I live like only 2 miles away. I was looking for short trips or whatever, or I have an emergency, I have to get home or something like that,
Right.
right? Never, ever,
Well,
ever people say, looking at the dog, say, I can't take that dog or do this. Not everybody is going to complain, but when they do complain, the hammer is going to come down. I
the hammer's gonna.
guarantee you it's going to come down.
Well, I'm
So
proof of that.
now
So
you're deactivated. You're just sitting at the charger, right? And
right.
tell me the process. What did you do after that?
And so they say is what's your side of the story is basically what they ask. So I'm sitting there and I'm a writer and I'm a blabbermouth. So I told probably too much of the story.
You probably
Uh,
did.
but because every lawyer that I talk to either say nothing or keep it as short as you can because the more you talk, the more you're going to be found guilty. You're
Yeah.
never going to be found innocent by what you say. And so I said the whole thing. I talked about the super big gulps. I talked about the red eyes. I talked about the pretty girl. And I said, I've been driving this enough to know that, and Sergio, I will give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I will take that long ride. I will take that stupid ride just to prove to myself that people are different, but people are not different.
Nope.
You should always trust your instincts.
No, and you know what? I mean, Tony, I know Tony very well, right? And we follow each other on Twitter. Um, and I mean, he loves dogs. Okay.
Loves
He
dogs.
has he has pictures with rider dogs licking his face. And I mean, he did not do this trip and get deactivated because he didn't like the dog. It had nothing to do with the
No,
dog. It's
no.
just the overall circumstances. So, all
Yes,
right. So then what? I mean, look, I know, the companies have kind of improved the deactivation review process.
yes, they have.
I have to give him credit. I don't give him
Yes,
much
they
credit,
have.
as you know, but specifically in Lyft's case, they have improved the review process. Before, you'd be definitely gone. You'd be like, bye, see you.
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, gone forever. Well, after all those trips and whatever. But so what happened after that?
So I don't know specifically what I said, but what I think I said that helped the case was the passenger did not have it wasn't his dog. It
Yeah,
was this pretty girl's dog.
yeah,
So I go, I didn't refuse the passenger's dog
yeah.
because there was
Okay.
no passenger
All
dog.
right. Whatever works. Yeah.
I go, also, this was a puppy, and I went to ADA's website, and I also went to another website about training service animals.
Yeah.
And on that website, it says how young of a dog can I bring in to have it trained to be a service animal?
Yeah.
And that website said it's got to be over 6 months.
Yeah.
And this dog was obviously younger than 6 months.
Well, good though. You did your research, right? You figured it out,
I did my because I really wanted to get
and
back on Lyft.
luckily,
Lyft.
the thing is with that is that you know it, and as well as I do, right? Everybody that comes into your car with a so-called service animal. First of all, I've had service animals. Those things are better trained than the owner. Okay,
It's true.
they
It's
know.
true.
They go sit on the floorboard. They don't move. They don't do any of that.
That's right.
But probably 8 out of 10, I'm going to say, people who walk in the car with their dog, it's not a service animal. It's just a
No
regular
way.
domesticated animal. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
So
then Lyft did what? I mean, after 72 hours, I'm assuming over the weekend, you probably couldn't drive.
I couldn't drive over the weekend for them. And another thing I did is I went to the chat. Lyft has a chat, and that guy was not into it at all. That guy was like, I go, it was a puppy. He's like, puppies are okay with us. And I was like, they shouldn't be. And I go, how do you train a puppy to be a service animal? He's like,
Yeah, at 2 months old.
and I think the guy goes, dogs are smart. And I go, I have the wrong guy here, and I'm never gonna get back on Lyft if this
Yeah,
if this
yeah,
gets on my
that's
record.
yeah, that's black hole support for you. So, but well, this is all ending well. But lesson learned, Tony. If you're going to cancel, don't even make eye contact from 100 yards away. You see that you don't want the dog, whatever it is, cancel, move on. No eye
Yeah,
contact, no conversation, because these people, these riders, will complain. And they will fire your ass. I mean, I'm
and
telling you, there's no ifs and buts about this. You probably can get away with a lot as a driver. I know this, right? But when it comes to that, you gotta be careful.
because as you said, it's a federal law.
Yeah,
It's written in stone, and also it's such a broad policy on Lyft in that you don't have to prove anything. You don't need a badge. You don't need a certificate. You don't need
yeah,
anything. And really, that's what I recommend to both Uber and Lyft in that. I mean, obviously they don't care about losing drivers. They've never cared about losing drivers. But I would still recommend that they set it up that if you do have a service animal, upload a picture of them. Like there should be a form. I think in our podcast you said that there's 33,000 Uber employees,
yeah,
right? One of them can make this form on the app.
easily. Yeah, yeah.
And animal lovers would love to share their picture of their dog. And so
Yeah,
if it's a service animal, show me the picture of the passenger and the picture of the dog and whatever paperwork that they have. That way we don't have to try to negotiate this in a parking lot
yeah,
in Irvine at 1 o'clock in the morning with a guy with bloodshot eyes. That's not safe for either of us
yeah,
because
yeah,
because I know some mean ass drivers who are going to be like, don't BS me and don't have your dog pee in my beautiful car.
yeah. Well,
So,
think about the next guy, right? I mean, so you'd canceled. Somebody got that order. He's gonna order again, right? But before
yeah,
he ordered, he went and complained about you, and then you got well, let's say you got suspended, and then
right.
everything is fine, you're back on Lyft. But
Yes.
people take this as a lesson to you. Most of the cases will not end this well. However, I got to give Lyft credit. They have definitely tightened up their review process when it comes to deactivations. I mean, look, certain cases definitely not, but in these kind of cases, let's not use all your 9 lives, Tony, on this one. You know, it's like, but so we'll have a few more minutes, and I know you love doing rideshare, okay?
Love it.
And there is this negativity that surrounds this space that at the last 2.5 years I've been doing Show Me the Money. Oh my God, I get more complaining than anything else, right? But then there are people like you who obviously want to make the most amount of money.
Nah.
That's the goal. We're out there to make money. I mean, we're not out there for sightseeing.
Yeah, but I would have gotten an SUV if that was really the case.
Yeah, but no, I mean, all I'm saying to you is that I would love for you to tell our audience what you like so much about rideshare. And I ask this to every behind the wheel guest. Give me 2 things about you love about rideshare, and give me 2 things about you dislike about rideshare.
The things that I love the most, and again, this job is not for everybody. Not every job is for everybody.
Yeah,
But the thing I love the most is I love the people, and if anything, I need to shut up more when I drive because I love to hear their stories,
yeah,
and I just want to like share with my story with theirs, but I need to shut the hell up. So I love their stories. I would say in the 10,000 trips I've had, 5 were bad. I mean,
yeah,
that's a pretty great odds,
yeah,
And so, but I also love to learn about Los Angeles. And so that's another reason I don't mind taking long rides.
yeah.
I want to see the entirety of this beautiful place, um, day and night, rainy, sunny, whatever it is, because it's always different. You know, there you are at your Pacific Palisades balcony, and that is going to look different at night, and it's
Yeah.
going to be different in the wintertime. And so I just feel like we're so lucky to live here in LA. It's so beautiful and
Mm.
it's so different. You know, you can drive one trip and you're in the mountains. Next trip you're in kind of like a crappy ass place. Like you can be anywhere and everywhere in one 8 hour shift. And so I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
What I don't love
Yeah.
is that I feel like both of these companies are just trying their best to just screw me over so badly and just suck me dry. It I saw a screenshot I took the like 5-6 years ago about a $10 ride, and it showed that Lyft took $1.50 out of that $10 ride.
Yeah.
They're going to take $6 out of that $10 ride today,
Yep.
and that makes me sad inside because it's like you're intentionally taking money out of my pocket to make your stock market price
Yeah.
look better, and
Yeah.
it's just such a just nasty way to make a profit is to take it out of the guys that buy the car, that drive, that put themselves at risk, that have to think about this dog in this super big gulp. And it's like, can't we figure out a better way for everybody to make more money than just steal it from the drivers?
Yeah. No,
So that
I couldn't agree with you more. And that is the complaint, right? And I mean, I am I wish there was a different mousetrap, right? There were different companies who we don't have to recreate the wheel in this. I mean, these
no.
companies have created this amazing marketplace, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to create a marketplace. They spent billions and billions of dollars before they can make a penny. But the penny they're trying to make should not be screw both sides of the transaction without doing the work at all,
That's
right?
right.
None. I mean, you're the one driving, but that's the complaint. And we're trying our best to call them out when we need to call them out, but give him
Mm-hmm.
credit when we need to give him credit. So I know you have all these hats you're wearing. So how much longer are you going to be driving? I bet you're going to be driving for a while.
Well, this Tesla drives itself, so I'm just going to be doing the conversation hopefully in the future.
Yeah, I've seen the
I
car.
honestly want to do it forever. I mean,
Yeah,
my legs hurt a little bit more now than they did before. Like I have to take more breaks now
yeah,
and like stretch and like do all the physical things
yeah,
because that's something that a lot of people don't talk about. And maybe it's because most drivers only last 90 days or a half a
yeah,
year. But when you do it a lot, it does take a toll on your body. And even this robot car, like you're still
yeah,
standing like this or sitting like this in LA traffic for a whole day,
yeah.
and that's not good for your body. So, but honestly, I would love to do this forever.
Yeah, you're one of those that you have a bright outlook about pretty much everything. I mean, you're very sociable. So with that said, we'll have a couple of minutes remaining. I'll give you those couple of minutes. Give our audience some advice. It doesn't have to be rideshare advice. Any
Well,
kind of
that's our
advice.
audience, though. That's our audience.
Okay,
So
well then give us rideshare advice, whatever you want. It's your 2 minutes, so spend it well.
my rideshare advice is we are so lucky that we can, for now, pick any ride we want, stop when we want, start when we want. And so all I ask you to do is kind of enjoy the ride. As cheesy as that sounds, like enjoy the trip with these people. These people are going through similar things that we're going through. We're all humans just trying to make it through and just try to give them 15 minutes of just a fun situation. And it the reason I recommend this is because I think it comes back to us. So I had a lady today who was like, "I think you're an angel," and I was like, "I've got the dirtiest mind in the world. If I'm an angel, it's a dark angel." She's like, "But my name is Valerie. You're playing Valerie by Richard Thompson. Like you care about this experience." And I go, "Yeah, because it's 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Like it's not hard to do this job if your heart's in it." And
yeah,
so all I recommend to the drivers is to appreciate what we have going right now because it might be gone
yeah.
soon.
Well, it was gone from you for 72 hours for the wrong reasons, but luckily everything worked out and you're back on the road. So, well, thank you, buddy. Thank you for doing this again.
My pleasure.
Please go check out Here in LA. Here is like, hearing, right? HEAR, in LA for Los Angeles. I'm going to be on this next episode of his podcast, the Substack that he writes for, with amazing AI generated pictures, by the way. I mean, I'm telling you, that's got to be a book one of these days. So, and all the other things he does, and his attitude, most importantly, is golden. Okay.
God bless you.
Always has a smiling face. And he's been on our show, Show Me the Money, a couple of times. But not as a one-on-one interview, which I wanted to do for a long time. Well, sir, buddy, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm glad everything is doing well. Enjoyed that new car. I've seen it. It's wonderful. It's awesome.
Me too.
And
And Sergio, thank you for all the advice that you give all of us. That's the other bit of advice I have. Listen to this man. He does the work. He has the spreadsheets. He's been doing this for years. He gets the information from drivers from all over, and he gives it back to you. So if this information isn't being used properly, it's your fault, not Sergio's fault. So
well, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So, as I always say, please stay healthy, and more importantly, stay safe out there.
I'll do my best. Thank you, Sergio.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for watching this episode of Behind the Wheel on the Rideshare Guy. We've been doing these interviews for the past 6 months with very successful drivers from different cities around the nation. Click here for another episode. Make sure you subscribe and turn on all notifications for other episodes of Behind the Wheel, as well as amazing content on our channel.